But
Recording.
all right, we're recording now.
Okay. Hey everyone, what's going on? I'm with JT, and I wanted to talk about something that came to my attention a few days ago. I talked to Ralph about it, and I talked to Tara in a DM. I shared my opinions about something that happened with me. I had a nightmare. I've been wanting to talk about it, but a lot of stuff has happened. I talked a little bit about it on a stream on Nurgles just recently, but I felt like I wanted to do the separate video with JT
Yeah.
though, so I just want to get this out there and let everyone know this is more of a what if. This it's not some. I don't think something's gonna happen, but I had a vision about certain things that were happening with SJWs and Gamergate and all this other stuff. I thought I'd just throw this out there, and I wanted people to just think about it. So I'm just like putting this video together with JT.
Yeah,
So,
considering we had some success with that other video, a lot of people talked about that video, and I seem to recall there was like 200, almost around 300 to 200 views of that video that we did about that whole issue, and you pretty much said what you had to say on that whole issue about the 3DS game. I seem to forgot a while back.
oh,
It's
the fire. Yeah, I think what me and you talked about in the previous recording we did was about Fire Emblem, and we were concerned about the
the
people working in the Nintendo and at Nintendo. We were concerned that there was people in the company that weren't delivering a good product that
I
were
know,
hidden.
and
and I
it
and
and
we
it
called it too.
we called it
And so did
too.
and so did everyone else that was on 8chan and many other places. They had their operations going, and
Yeah,
the more we
and
dug in,
a lot of people got pissed off at me when I said to leave Allison alone, because she already lost her job. But the only issue that I wanted to point out to people about this is that Allison wasn't the only one involved in this. It turns out there are people that work for Nintendo are involved in the IGDF, and
oh wow.
and you can look them up. They're under the Nintendo writers thing,
Ooh, I think I know what you're
localization. Yeah, localization writers. And the problem is, people think that the point is that people are upset with her because a lot of people pointed out that she's a lol cow. That's fine, but she already lost her job. She already lost her and it's like I know that people are probably upset and downvoting the hell out of that video, but you have to realize something. She's not the only one involved with the localization thing. There are more than one person that is involved with it. But as for your nightmare thing, go ahead and talk about it. I'm sorry that I we
Oh,
went off topic.
no, no worries. Well, real quick, let's talk a few things about Allison Rapp. Just get it out the way. In my opinion, I've said this. I don't feel sorry that she got fired, and I know Event Status feels the same way. He's like, yeah, that's good. I don't feel bad for her getting fired. I mean, that's my opinion, but I mean, me and you did talk about problems with Nintendo and what was going on. We felt like there were people in the company that were just not treating the gamers well, and eventually it blew up big, and then a whole bunch of videos about Allison came out. But what I really want to talk about is this nightmare, and I feel like in this dream there's something big gonna happen just with gaming and GG and all sorts of stuff. I feel like another big event is gonna come very soon. And we've recently had like some events like with Allison Rapp, and now we have Candace Owens versus Zoe Quinn, and it just never seems to stop though. But so let me begin and talk about this nightmare I had. So what happened in this nightmare is me and some other people were out, and I met some other people. in Gamergate. There was a big guy and a few other people. We were at some gathering, and we were talking about what Zoe was doing. This was kind of like we were based in a theme like in X-Men Days of Future Past
Or a
or
future apocalypse.
yeah, or like Age of Apocalypse, like in the X-Men comics.
Cartoon, or in the
Like when,
cartoons.
yeah, or the cartoons, like where Apocalypse ruled the world, but it was Zoe that had all this power. She had Candace's Owens's technology. I'm not saying she's never gonna get her hands on it. I'm sure Candace would fight her to the death. And so anyways, this is more of a what if though, a type of video though. But so in the nightmare, Zoe had Candace Owens' technology, so she decided to use it against us, and she was able to find all sorts of information about us. And well, I'm not afraid of her in real life though. And my information is out there, and if anyone does want to question me about certain things, I mean, I'll be glad to answer certain questions. I'm not afraid, but there's no dirt on me. So but so Zoe Quinn had this power and this technology to unmask people in Gamergate, and it was very dangerous. And the first victim she made, as an example, was our friend Batman. You've seen him in the chat. He's a
Yeah,
troll.
he's more of an anonymous troll, but I never really had a problem with him. He's always cool. Uh,
Yeah, I don't
and
have a problem with him either, but
yeah,
Zoe
cause
made him as an example. She put his information out there so people would know about him, and that's what was dangerous, though. And so, in this nightmare, we were trying to figure out how to combat against Zoe and how to survive and stuff. And it was so bad that we were talking about SJWs and stuff, and it was in this nightmare, Zoe had the power to put this information out there about us, and SJWs would be able to look at it and they would be able to come to our house and practically, rage war. They would have their little protests like they do at the campuses, though.
yeah, they do. But the funny thing is, they're not allowed to do that
Yeah.
because it would cause a really bad problem, and it would be a hypocritical thing to do. And the thing is, you don't have to worry about it. I understand that
No.
this is kind of a nightmare, and sometimes nightmares don't always mean what they have to mean. It's not like they go into the whole future aspect of predicting right or wrong. It just means that it could possibly happen, but in a way, Zoe doesn't always have what you may say the
No.
power to do so. She can convince people, but to my understanding, Candace stood her ground in the situation. She basically told told her that this is all just an idea. It's not a big deal. You don't always have to support the idea because it's not like anyone's gonna support it because one um this whole business idea that she was doing, it was just a project. It's not like it's gonna succeed from the ground up because one, there are ethical concerns about this, and also litigation issues. Like if someone was falsely accused on that website, it would lead to lawsuits.
Yeah.
And the problem is that most people are getting upset saying that we support Candace. It's like, no, we don't support Candace. We don't support
No.
her ideas. We sympathize with her about what happened to her because it's Zoe Quinn.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
and a lot of people don't realize is that I don't I don't agree with what Candace is doing, but at least she's doing something about the situation we're dealing with because
Yeah,
no
and
one
at least she's not bad mouthing Gamergate. She didn't blame us for anything.
I
So
know.
she's not mad at us.
She's not, because the fact is she doesn't know what was going on in Gamergate. She didn't really give a shit about Gamergate. Yes, the media said that we're the bad guys, but she's like outside of it. She's not aware of what Gamergate is because no one knows what Gamergate is. Everyone assumes that they are a harassment movement against Zoe Quinn, and the truth is this is against the games journalism thing. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't like games journalism. Yes, they don't like Zoe Quinn because they feel that Zoe Quinn is dishonest.
Yeah. And we all know that with what this was gonna do when we listened to the interview with Ralph, you know, this whole thing was gonna expose Zoe Quinn, and a lot of her white knights and deniers in the media. You can deny it all you want, but we know of the bad stuff she did with a hell dump and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, and the
You know,
funny
it's a
thing
dark
is,
secret.
is that here's the other thing I found out is that um, Zoe used a private Twitter account known as Great. It was Prime Ape, and what happened was it was a private account she used. But the funny thing was, when I was looking at the archives that people put up, uh, guess who she put when she spread that whole email thing. Guess what happened? Guess
Ooh,
who
what
was
happened?
guess
She
who was
deleted it?
no, she deleted it. Yes, she deleted
Okay.
that private Twitter account. And the funny thing was, here's something else. Um, guess who she talked to in the private conversation, that private Twitter account.
Randy Harper.
Nope,
No?
she did,
Where's
but she also talked to Todd in the Shadows.
Todd in the Shadows? Wow.
Yes, Todd in the Shadows, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. So he's probably involved in it. I just hope he isn't.
I've lost so much respect for that dude. I have, really. I used to like his work back in the day, but the way he acts and the way he talks now about Gamergate and all this other stuff, I've lost so much respect for that dude. I used to watch his videos. He did great videos about music and all sorts of stuff. It's funny he would take the time to research stuff and put it in a video, but I'm like, dude, you don't have time to research anything about Gamergate? Like, really, dude?
Yeah,
Like, you get no respect. I've lost respect for that dude so much. Unbelievable. But
because
go ahead. What else happened with
we
those two?
we kind of realized that he got upset about the whole thing about with can. I think we let's assume this. I'm not going to accuse him of the fact that because what happened was a lot of people because there was an account that was spreading a screenshot of an email, and most people suspect that's Candace Owens' email, and that email happened to be my intern such, and there was this one account that in question, and what happened was the guy kind of blocked his account from iView. And the funny thing was, there was this screenshot of it saying my intern, which happens to be the same email that Candace Owens showed off on in one of the internet things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because here's the thing. It seems that they did try to spread that information out there.
Yeah. I remember I heard he got a hold of something of hers.
Yeah, because she gave that private because mind you, Candace Owen only gave that private information to Zoe,
Mm-hmm.
and that private information wasn't that private email happened to belong to Candace, and only one person who knew about that email was Zoe because Zoe actually gave her the private because Candace gave her the private email.
Wow. I see.
Yeah. So pretty much, Zoe does know about her harassers. The problem is, let's put it this way: they control people control us all they want, and try to say it's our fault and blame us for it. Like for example, like one person, Tyler Valle, he can blame us all he wants, but we don't support her ideas. We sympathize with her. There's a difference. And the problem is that most people don't realize. And the funny thing is, Ralph did what he had to do. Just to, sure, most people don't like him because he's making money off of this. But he actually did try to give the lady a chance to defend herself.
Yeah, well, I know Ralph and Tyler. They used to be friends, and I know they don't talk to each other no more. But they had a fallout though a while back ago. I don't have any problems with Tyler Valle. I don't know what he's currently doing though, but I know he's on my Skype, and that's about it though. I may have to message him and see what he's up to though. But he kind of didn't like about he thought GG was supporting Kansas Owens or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
said he said that we supported Candace Owens. We don't. We sympathize with her about what happened because she was a victim of Zoe. That is the reason why people are helping her because she's another victim of what is, of an online abuser that no one knows about, but everyone's siding with her because they think she's being harassed by us. And the fact
Yeah.
is, a lot of people, like Tyler, he's probably uninformed about it.
I don't think he got to sit down to talk to us or anyone else about the whole issue.
Yeah, and he kind of got upset about it. I don't blame Tyler. It's just Tyler is out of Gamergate. He doesn't want anything to do with it. It's understandable. I leave it alone and drop it because it's like, look, we don't support we don't support her idea about this social autopsy thing. We don't. We don't like it. We just sympathize with what happened to what happened when Zoe does it. I understand that Zoe was trying to attack the idea of it, but the sad part is you did it the wrong way. First
Hmm.
off, just say publicly, I do not support this. I don't support this, and just say it out there. Don't go all off on her and tell her this stuff like you're a smart independent woman telling another smart independent woman that this whole idea is a bad idea. Yes, it's a bad idea. I can point out the issues because chances are it can all end in a lawsuit.
Hmm.
Because if a child is mistakenly identified as a harasser on the internet, guess what would happen? That it, that would what would happen? Well, it would lead to a lawsuit. Parents would probably go into a lawsuit frenzy going after that website.
Yeah.
I personally it wouldn't matter to me because it's not my problem. It's I think it's the Channers' problem if they're gonna get upset about the thing. And I understand that a lot of them are doing the vigilantism thing. It's not, but the problem is there are people out there that will use the internet and abuse it,
Hmm.
and they will bully people into submission. And it's not because of the fact that they want to, because they want to do it for the lulls. But
Yeah.
when it gets out of control, oh man, it's hell on earth.
Yeah, it is.
And
But oh, I forgot to bring up. I did talk to Tyler recently on Twitter, he brought up, I guess, I didn't even know about this until he brought it up. I guess a certain YouTuber died named Happy Cabby.
Happy. Oh man.
That, yeah, the big guy. He used to like, he used to be helpful. He used to be the type of guy you could go to when it came to help with YouTube. But I know there's some controversy with him. He did certain things he really shouldn't have done, and he got himself into a mess of things. But yeah, I heard about him though.
Yeah, I can't blame him. It's like, a lot of YouTubers get depressed and it leads to something else.
Yeah, he just had problems with his. From what I heard, he told me he had problems with his health or something.
Yeah, a lot of people have problems with their health. Like, I'm surprised that a lot of people, I can't blame people for having health problems, and it's like there's always that problem.
Just I don't know. When I look at the situation, it's like, man, just take a break from work, dude. Take a break. Work on your health. Like, seriously. It's just, I don't know. Certain things are just scary when I find out about people dying over their health issues. It's just crazy. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to talk a bit more about this nightmare. There's not a lot to talk about,
Continue.
but practically, anyways. In this nightmare, Zoe had all this power, and a lot of people in Gamergate, we met up because it was so bad that we had to literally meet up in person. Because it is important that we do our meetups in person too. Not just do hangouts and all sorts of stuff, but just hang out in general. But so we were talking about how to, fight off against these SJWs, how are we gonna, defend ourselves and all sorts of stuff. And so like we were just talking and eventually I woke up from my dream. I think my mother woke me up and kind of interrupted everything that I was doing. And so the nightmare kind of ended from there. But what I felt like I got out of the nightmare is I felt like something big was gonna happen. I don't know what will happen in the future, but you can guarantee if something big happens in the gaming community or within Gamergate, oh, it'll be relevant. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll be back again. We're not dead, but I'm foretelling of something big going to happen. And yeah, we're probably gonna have more hangouts again, and we're probably going to be doing some gatherings very, very soon.
Yeah. Here's something else. Right now, Candace Owens being bombarded with journalists attacking her character.
Oh God.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it just proves how biased they are of the situation because they're going up against. Okay, the funny thing is, they're going up against a black woman taking the word of a white woman versus a black woman type of situation.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like already Jesse Single, whatever he or her name is, just Single, kind of wrote a bias about that too, about it, and tried to warn her not to just say that Gamergate did it, and it's like everyone, she's like saying no, that's not Gamergate. I believe that she's not stupid. Candace Owens is not stupid. She knows who did it because she said computer forensics. And when I remembered it in the interview, she mentioned computer forensics. So something tells me her friends are in computer forensics and knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell you would know anything if you're sure about who's doing this. Because one, she does seem to know how to solve a mystery. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And
But
she
me
does
and
have some
Ralph had
common
a good
sense.
discussion about this too on
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, because it seems that she knows what she's doing. Because she's She probably has a computer forensics firm following up on this under her budget.
Oh yeah, no, totally though. But it was just interesting how this nightmare came to happen. But it's just interesting that all this stuff was happening with Zoe and Candace Owens, though. You know, you would think that Zoe would want to stay out of drama, but yet she keeps getting sucked back into drama, though. And just, you know, you can tell behind those glasses, the look, and all that other stuff, she's like up to just no good at all. And she's just, you know, plotting something big. And it's obvious that if this project had been released and done, you know, Zoe Quinn, all this stuff would be exposed about her. I mean, we already know about all the bad stuff she's done, though. But I'm sure there would have been more dirt about her out there thrown out on the internet that would have just totally like shut her down.
Well,
But
the funny thing is, I made a meme about her, um, of Zoe, which I admit I'm guilty of, and it was funny. I actually made a Hello. It was based on a Hello Kitty meme of the KKK of the Ku Klux Klan, and the
uh-huh.
funny, I did a I faced over the whole Ku Klux Klan thing of Zoe's face in the wearing the Ku Klux Klan garb. I was like having fun with that because it's kind of true by the narrative that she attacked a black woman over something stupid. And
Actually, oh,
even even Randy was admitting to this whole thing on her thing. On
yeah.
she
Oh,
had
and also, I forgot to bring up, I just heard about this recently. There's actually a Gamergate gathering at PAX, though, with a few. It's not going to be
PAX
bigger. And
East.
yeah, I know there's a gathering out there, and Aaron Joni's out there.
Yeah, they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. I don't mind Aaron Joni. He's a good guy. I understand
Yeah,
he.
he's cool. I've
Uh,
had no problems with Aaron Joni. I see him as he's a victim, and he doesn't get a chance to explain a lot of things. He's just, you know, been harassed and bombarded by all these people that don't know anything about the situation. And I do know it's not a secret. People already are talking about it, though. I know Aaron Joni's gonna meet up with you know who, Rogue Star. I, I saw this, and they're gonna meet up with the Niche Gamer guys just to hang out. But like Niche Gamer said, they're not gonna cover their game or nothing. But it's just all to hang out, though. About
I would love to do. Sorry if I had to put the mic up. Um, I would love to see how that would turn out, but I understand that a lot of people don't like Rogue Star, and it's like I have my suspicions about Rogue Star because a little he tends to try to advocate for us to dox people online, and of course he got banned on Burgers and Fries because of that. And a lot of people, I kind of have a feeling that Rogue Star is a FBI informant. That's what I feel about him.
yeah, I about Roguestar, I don't he's not a guy I follow. I think I followed him one time on Twitter, but he puts out way too much tweets and I had to unfollow him. I'm like, okay, you tweet way too much.
I know, and he
In my
tweets.
opinion, just get your game done,
I
Roguestar. I'm
know,
not trying to start beef or anything, but finish your game,
I
dude.
know.
Finish your game.
He
Get your game
did.
out for
He
people.
did, and I understand that each gamer needed the money to because they asked for the money to do the whole event, and
Yeah.
it wasn't because I understand they are trying to get their get their experience in PAX and PAX East, PAX because they're trying to get into every PAX they can and try to write about it and report about it. And it's kind of how they're trying to operate, and I understand they needed that money because they were asking for the crowd to fund their thing, and of course you have Rockstar funding it.
Yeah, but I'm sure there will be more pictures later on when the weekend's over, so we'll probably hear more about what happened at PAX, though.
Yeah, I just hope everything's okay because
Yeah, I'm sure everything will be okay though. But yeah, I just knew they were gonna do their little meetup. I saw some image of them like they're about to meet up and stuff, and yeah.
yeah, they're gonna
But
meet up at Burgers and Fries, which
burgers and fries.
fries, Five Guys Burgers and Fries, ladies and gentlemen, they're about to do that. So
Yeah,
we're gonna probably end it here.
yeah. Go
What
ahead
is your
and end
last?
it though.
No, no, you say something in this.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, but overall, this whole story, this whole nightmare I had, or you could say this vision I had. Anyways, from what I got from this is I have this vision that something big is going to happen within gaming or Gamergate again, which all of us will have to come together. And let's just say there's going to be a bunch of hangouts again, and it something big is going to happen, and I'm sure it's going to resolve us meeting up again. And I know our meetups are going to start around the summertime, which is everyone's out of school and work and at E3
E3 is gonna
or
happen.
we're gonna I do plan to have a meetup with a friend of mine I talked to last night. When I got off the stream, one of my friends called me on Skype that's also involved in GG. She plans to have a meetup again around San Diego
Okay,
for San Diego Comic Con, so we have to really plan that well. So we honestly don't know where we do know where we're gonna meet up, but we don't know where to go to, what restaurant to go to because
that's
it's
fair
so big.
enough. That's fair enough.
But we're still trying to figure out who's gonna come, but she's gonna be more prepared in advance and I don't know. We don't know who will show up though, but and I
Well, at
told her
least you
we have to
guys are not
plan it
going to
out
Chuck E.
carefully.
Cheese.
But we'll see what happens though. But yeah, me and a friend of mine do plan to have another Gamergate gathering again in San Diego. Hopefully, more people will be able to attend. We had a good few of people, but it wasn't big enough like the other ones I went to though. But it was decent. But it was just kind of last minute though. Well, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, there's going to be something big happening in the future. Well, of course, there's always something big happening, and we're going to be brought up in the news again, just like with Allison Rapp, just like with Yahoo recently. And then you had what's that lady's name from the IGDA that was lying about us on Yahoo? Andrew Doll did a video on her, too.
Yeah, I think she's. I can't really say about her. I keep forgetting her name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anyways, yeah, she was just lying about stuff, and then she just
it was the
totally
head
lied.
of the. Yeah, because the thing is that this is all a ploy to tell everyone how bad we are, and we should try to legislate this law against them. And it's like they're trying to keep us silent about it, and the fact is always trying to secretly be a part of it, but at the same time sabotage this whole situation.
Yeah. We're just battling different fronts with though, and we're all gonna come together again, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I cut that off, man.
Oh no, no worries, though.
I'm gonna record it. Go ahead and say what you have to say, and then I'm gonna try to fix it up and try to edit it in. Go ahead and continue.
Oh, okay. Anyways, like I was saying, I do predict something big is gonna happen, and I'm sure, like always, we'll have our hangouts and our gatherings and all that other stuff. Just be prepared, guys. You know, this is more of a what if. You know, what if Zoe had all this power? I mean, what if all these SJWs came to your house and started to riot? What would you do? I mean, not saying
I
you
know.
guys should be in fear or anything. No, you guys shouldn't be afraid. I'm not saying be afraid of Zoe, be afraid of Randy Harper. No, 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 no. Look, I'm not afraid of these people, okay? I'm not afraid. And you guys shouldn't be either because we all know in the real world, they wouldn't win at debating us, nor would they ever be able to fight us physically because, well, they would get stomped out of existence, though. But, anyways, I just want to hopefully, if anyone listens to this audio, this clip, I just want to hear your opinions about this. Feel free to express maybe what would you do if Zoe Quinn had this power, this technology? What would you do? This is more of like something to think about.
Yeah. And I
That's
want you
all about.
guys, yeah, and comment down below. We're gonna go ahead and go, and I'm sorry that I kind of cut you off on that one. Uh, thanks for listening. Good night and
Good night.
good
Take care,
day.
guys.
Take care.